Last week at the Milwaukee Mile, the Summer Showdown exploded into chaos, and when it was all over, Jersey Outlaw edged out the AM/PM Rocket in a wild final that shook the whole place. Friendships were made, rivalries were born, and the tone for the summer was set. Tonight, we take the fight to Flat Rock Speedway's J-Hook, one of the tightest, trickiest layouts on the tour. This track exposes nerves, it exposes grudges, and it rewards the fearless. The pressure's rising, and the next chapter of the Summer Showdown starts right now on the J-Hook at Flat Rock Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Summer Showdown series brought to you by B Motorsports. Once again, my name is Austin Spence. I'm your host with my amazing co-host as ever, Chris Gossler. What's going on, buddy? It's great to be back for event number 2 with this awesome series.
Man, I woke up and I was just ready to go. I had the coffee in the mug, and then I just started to see all these amazing trucks show up in here, and we got some new faces, some faces that couldn't quite make it, and I just think it's going to be an excellent night. I just see this being a fun course, a little bit of a small lineup, but that's A-okay. These drivers are ready to put out all the line today on the track. How about you, Spence? How are you doing?
Man, I got to be honest with you. We got a lot of our heavy hitters, not just, coming over that have made their mark from the Community Clash series. They're coming in here with the Summer Showdown and obviously different identities. And what a showing we had in our very first event. A lot of carnage, a lot of close, we had a couple close races, couple I would say unfortunate circumstances, a lot of red lights, unfortunately, with some of the guys. I guess they're a little out of touch with our lighting system that we typically have here with B Motorsports. But I'm not going to lie, man, now we're throwing some turns into the mix, and this is a lot longer course than when we had at the Milwaukee Mile. We are here at Flat Rock Speedway in Flat Rock, Michigan, a little close to my stomping grounds on our fast track, our little series, making our way down to where you're from, all the way down to the great sunshine state of Florida. But, man, we've got some heavy hitters, and this is going to be a tricky, tricky class. But after event number 1, Chris, I think it's time for us to take a look at the points and see where we're currently standing in this series.
Absolutely. Let me go over the pamphlet that was given to me this morning. So right now, as everyone should already know, Jersey Outlaws in that top spot with 43 points, followed by Barely Tame with 30, Liquidator with 20 points, Fanatic and AM Rocket with 15, 5 Wolverine, and 5 to Gunslinger. Now, some people that were in don't have points at this point in time. We didn't do qualifying for these events. These are random seeds. These points, I believe, I've been told maybe needing a small revision, but they might have some small changes later on. But that's as it currently stands.
Well, let's talk a little bit about our point, the point bracket system here. So as you guys see, what we talked about earlier, you saw a lot of these trucks that were in the very first event that we had for Summer Showdown Series, and they're rocking 0 points. Reason being is because if you don't make it past round 1, you don't make any points. And like we said, this is a completely random seed, randomly generated bracket. There's no qualifying times, no fast qualifier, this, that, and the other. It is completely random on where you place in the bracket. And if you get past round 1, guess what? You get 5 points. If you get past round 2, another 5 points, eventually making you all the way up to get into the finale, to the finals of racing. However, we had a lot of chaos that happened in the very last event that we had here. Chris, kind of talking about our semifinal round that we had between Barely Tame and Fanatic, where both trucks were so wadded up, neither one of them were able to make it to the final round, which allowed AM/PM Rocket to go to the finals and face off against Jersey Outlaw.
Yes, that did happen, and in those cases, we can't give AM/PM Rocket free points for the rounds he lost, but he definitely has an ability to get the points for the round he's in. And he had the ability to get some good lead there with that finals race, but it just didn't work out for him. But at any point in time, someone could get moved up if they lost the round and they got to get pulled in. Could easily happen and get some points that you weren't expecting to get.
You're absolutely right. And, we have a couple of new competitors. As you were talking earlier, we've got the Buckette. Our buddy Kyle Seasock's wife is joining the fray in the Virginia Giant. And we've got the Bobcat, Josh McClung. We got old young McClung rocking out in Master of Disaster. So we got a couple of new rookies coming into the fray for the season. And they're make their mark here in the Summer Showdown Series. So, Chris, we got a lot on our plate tonight. This is going to be a wild and crazy track. Are you ready for some side-by-side monster truck racing? Because I know I am.
Oh, brother, I'm born ready for it. I live, breathe it, and I want nothing more to go on. Let's get right into it. Let's get ready to go. And going over Flat Rock's bracket here at the Summer Showdown Series Event 2, we have Round 1 racing with Jersey Outlaw facing Carolina Crusher, Jersey with Lane Choice. And on the other half of the bracket, we have Iron Eagle and Gunslinger, followed by Virginia Giant and Master Disaster. And going into Round 2 after that, we'll see who moves along, and we'll update the bracket as we go. Let's get right on into it.
All right, well, coming out first, our very first lineup, as you were talking earlier, we have the Jersey Outlaw, our first ever racing champion that we had in Extrat, coming out. And honestly, Chris, from his very first showing with the Summer Showdown Series, he put on a very impressive performance over there at the Milwaukee Mile. Now we got Dominic Hokut rocking out in the Carolina Crusher. Hopefully he was able to get a nice little fine tune in this truck. Maybe he might be able to, have a little bit more zest under the hood of that yellow Chevrolet here tonight in Flat Rock.
Well, this particular race could be interesting because you have literally polar opposite drivers here, basically. So, Extrat's coming in with excellent momentum, already winning round 1, the first event, and then Domo over here, he had terrible momentum. He had literally zero momentum. So. This has a opportunity to continue something great or be a start of something new, and we're going to see how it goes. But it looks like Jersey Outlaws got an early lead. Carolina Crusher not far behind, going over to the first stack of cars here. Jersey Outlaws still with a clear lead in the pack, and it's going to be a demanding lead for Jersey Outlaw moving into round 2. Not a bad race.
Regardless, still a much better showing from Domo and the Carolina Crusher. Like I said, he has been working night and day trying to get that truck dialed in. Now, we've got another lineup here that is actually going to be relatively impressive for all of you Ford fans. We've got the old Joe coming out in Iron Eagle, and I can promise you, this Joe ain't no average Joe. And then we've got our good buddy rocking out in Gunslinger. And this truck, I was honestly going to put my money last event that Gunslinger was going to go to the finals to face off against Extra in the Jersey Outlaw, but due to a fluke crash going into the it wasn't the semifinals, I believe round 2, losing both tires on one side of the truck, it completely devastated his run. And also had a really bad run out of Iron Eagle last time, where he unfortunately hit the inside barricade, and unfortunately that ended his run early as well. So we got two trucks, two really awesome Fords here that have a lot to prove here tonight.
Well, Blue Oval fully on display for both these drivers. They both have a lot to earn. They both want to go far. We're going to see what happens in this race, but I think I got my money on good old Joe over there. I think he's got a lot to prove, and he's got a lot he wants to get done, but as the drivers are waiting for a green, we're going to see. And here they go off with the equal start coming into the J-hook turn. We're going to see who takes an advantage out of this. Coming about even.
Very even race from both trucks. I don't know if you saw it from the beginning, but it looks like Joe's going to take the win. Hold on to her, Joe. Completely rips the left front tire off, pops the right rear and the left rear. Oh Lord, Chris. We got the entire corner ripped off the front corner of Iron Eagle. And it looks like he's going to be able to limp it to the back, but there's no way to be able to fix that poor truck. He's only got one good tire left.
I think that might be an unfortunate end to Event 2 for Joe. We're going to see how that goes. We've seen miracles happen, but I'm not sure he brought in the trailer with him, so we'll have to see. But I guess we're just going to have to move on to the next round of racing.
Well, next round of racing, this is an all-rookies matchup. So first appearance here from Master of Disaster. Looks like he was trying to cut some weight, if you will, by taking the front grille off that truck, trying to, some kind of weight reduction. And then we've got Virginia Giant all the way out in the far lane. So a little bit of red versus blue, Ford versus Chevrolet. Both rookies are going to be lining up here. First appearance ever for the Summer Showdown Series. Who do you got your money on for this one, Chris?
I can't, the Bobcat rubs me the wrong way some days. I can't root for that blood, but, Buck at me and him go way back. We gotta I gotta go with his wife over here. I think Buckette has got this race in the bag.
I think you're just saying that because your wife and Buckette are actually very good friends. But it looks like young McClung is off to a very demanding lead. And it looks like the Buckette is almost trying to aim for Master of Disaster. Master of Disaster trying to get out of the way. Easily over the first set of cars, and it is smooth sailing for Master of Disaster and moving on to the next round. Still waiting on Virginia Giant. Able to somewhat get across the finish line. Not the greatest first appearance, but, a valiant effort.
We're working on it. She's got some progression to make. We're gonna get there. We're racing, not demo derby, and I think we'll learn that one eventually. But hey, can't be too bad, right?
You can't be too bad. Nope, she didn't wad the truck up completely. But that's going to be an end to our very first round of racing for our racing bracket, Chris. So lining up for our second round, we talked about Mr. Bucket, Kyle Seasock himself. He's going to be facing Liquidator with the Jersey Outlaw, our first ever racing winner. Then is going to be King Kong versus Fanatic. And if you remember, Fanatic was involved in that really crazy crash that we had at the Milwaukee Mile last week with 10 and the Barely Tame, who Barely Tame is going to be facing off in round 2 against Gunslinger. And then due to some misfortunes that was happening back in the pits, Chris, it looks like MOD will be facing off against Carolina Crusher again. Something happened to AMPM Rocket.
We got word there were some technical failures in the trailer. They're not unable to load it. They're unable to load it out of the trailer tonight, unfortunately. And we are going to bring Carolina Crusher back for a hopeful and maybe very meaningful second chance attempt.
Well, we'll see. But right now, we got some of the big dogs coming out here. If you remember, the last time these two lined up back at the Milwaukee Mile, Kyle had a wild and crazy crash. So much so that I obviously made this video's intro from last week. But the Liquidator truck went for quite a tumble in that line of racing. And I believe Kyle actually had Outlaw in that race by maybe the cleat of a tire. So if I know Kyle wants to win this race bad.
I don't know, man. If I know Kyle, I know he'll be happy with the highlight reel moment, just like he had there before. All right, he's Mr. Highlight Reel himself. That's what matters. That's what sells the merch. He knows it. We all know it. But if anyone has a good chance of taking out Jersey Outlaw tonight, Liquidator and Kyle Seasock are one of those competitors, and they are both off. Looks like a very equal race going into the J-Hill, coming out over the Liquidator, a little bit of trouble there. Looks like Jersey Outlaw is going to get an easy victory going into this in the round 3 racing, canceling a Liquidator out of the competition.
Also, this was round 2, but also Jersey Outlaw almost doing it end over end there towards the end, kind of putting the nose hard into the dirt. Kyle tried to whip the truck around to get back in the pits, but tough break for Kyle Seasock. Liquidator's going back home on the trailer. Our next lineup, this is a battle all red trucks. We got King Kong version 3 taking on the Fanatic. Now, both these trucks were relatively quick. I remember when we were doing practice with the King Kong truck, that truck was actually relatively quick compared to everybody else in the lineup. So I know he's got that truck dialed in. It is bad fast, but unfortunately he red lit in the very first event to where he got disqualified. And as you know, for Fanatic, he wasn't doing a very good job of trying to make friends in semifinals.
Well, it's going to be a little bit harder to take a small left here. In this case, in his case, it'll be a right. But I think this race hopefully will be a little cleaner. I think he had some talking to in the pits. There may have been some words exchanged that are not PG rated for the show. But both drivers here are lined up. King Kong, Fanatic, waiting for the green light. Let's see who takes home a racing win today. And both trucks are off. Looks like King Kong has a slight lead on there on the light. And Fanatic almost going into the other lane, but King Kong slowing it down. And we're having a comeback from Fanatic. These trucks
got a bit of a drag race.
Close.
King Kong by a tire. What a drag race to the finish. Fanatic coming in that turn overshot it. King Kong hesitated a little bit over that first jump, but King Kong just scraping by with the win. Congratulations, King Kong, as we moving on in racing.
That race was more emotionally demanding than your relationships, man. I'm telling you, that was a crazy race.
Yeah, you know what? We don't need to bring my dating profile into this. Speaking of bad relationships and bad blood, we've got 10 and Barely Tame coming out here, a whole new skin and identity, rocking the blue Ford since the old maroon 79 Densai got absolutely destroyed last week in Milwaukee, and he's going to be taking on Gunslinger. who moved on from round 1 as of recent. So this is an all-Ford matchup. And honestly, both of these were semifinal participants back in the very first event. So this might be a very close race.
Well, you know, 10 is definitely a racer you would see in this time in the bracket. He has the potential of moving on, but so does Gunslinger, and they're both off here. We're gonna see who takes a lead out of the J hook, and it's looking like barely tame, but he looks like he had a little stumble there. Gunslinger was able to capitalize, and it is gonna be close. Oh my lord! But Gunslinger is gonna take.
Oh, hold on, barely tame.
And we have rollover. Oh lord.
Well, it looks like it doesn't matter which body or which paint scheme you use on your truck. Regardless of how pretty it is, you just can't buy talent. But hey, you know what? At least they were able to make the highlight reel. We have our very first wreck of the evening here at Flat Rock Speedway. Congratulations to Gunslinger moving on to the next round, and congratulations to Barely Tame making it to the highlight reel.
That wreck was covered by Beacon Fidelity, and yes, they covered that. Next up, round race, we have Master Disaster coming out here in the beautiful truck. That is a beautiful thing. Facing off against Domo and Carolina Crusher.
Yes.
Now, this right here for Domo could be the one thing. This race could bring in all of this bad luck juju to an end, Spence. He could come into this race and put himself back in contention and get some points on the board for the first time this season.
You're absolutely right. Domo has a golden ticket. He has a second chance of redemption here to knock down the rookie, finally get some points on the board, and really lay his mark finally in the Summer Showdown Series. Obviously, they're both going into the first turn. Domo seems to be taking it a little bit more smooth. It is neck and neck. Domo getting a little crossed up over the first set of cars, almost aiming for a cameraman, and Master Disaster is going to be walking away with his second round
we got a little
win.
close there. Jesus.
It's all right. Well, if you can't win them, or if you can't beat them, I guess wreck them at this point. But Chris, we'll be right back from a word from one of our sponsors.
Three, two, fish. All right, everybody, let's go into round 3 racing here. Let's look at your semifinal finalist here. We have Jersey Outlaw facing King Kong, and we have Gunslinger versus Master of Disaster. This is very much an interesting bracket. Jersey Outlaw is kind of trying to make it to the end here. King Kong has a chance to make the upset, and Gunslinger on the other side is looking for redemption from last week versus the rookie. Let's see what happens getting into the first race in this round. Well, we see King Kong in that beautiful truck coming out to face Jersey Outlaw, who's becoming a menace on this tour, who's looking to take another victory on only the second event of the series. Spence, what do you think?
Is it my turn to talk now? Am I allowed to voice my opinion? Okay, just one second.
Oh, sorry. You just do it a lot. I was just trying to help you out. Let you get some of that water.
Okay.
What do you think about this race, brother?
I just wanted to get permission from my co-host that I'm allowed to speak my mind here. Anyway, regardless of who wins here, I'm just happy to see that a Ford is definitely going to be going to the final. However, it is very interesting to see, potentially, we're going to see once we go green here, that if Jersey Outlaw is going to be a 2-time finalist here with the Summer Showdown Series. Sounds like both trucks are on the converter and ready and just waiting for the green flag and the green light to drop. Who is going to go to the finals? Jersey Outlaw and King Kong both are pitching it into that first turn. King Kong goes a little wide, trying to get
Jersey Outlaw with a lead here. Oh my God, we're getting close. We're getting a little kind of wampus though.
Bad
King
bounce.
Kong even worse.
Oh, bad bounce for King Kong. Gets him all cattywampus. Jersey Outlaw, for the second time in a row, is going to be going to the final round for the Summer Showdown Series.
Someone's got to stop this man. Someone's got to do it.
I don't know if someone's going to be able to, because we have again, this is a rookie versus, I wouldn't want to call him a rookie. The gentleman that is driving the gunslinger truck, we keep mentioning it, is Cryo Wolf. And if you remember from our series that we had, I'm sorry, I'm just blank there. I was in the middle of eating a pretzel.
The beautiful Community Clash hosted by Beat Motorsports and our dear friend Ben and Rudd. Yes, that amazing series. But yes, Cryo Wolf drove in there. He did pretty much okay. No, I don't think he had anything too amazing come out of it. But he's been looking very good, you know, in this new tour thus far, and he's looking to make a statement here on this race tonight.
So we got to see, are we going to have Gunslinger finally make his appearance in the finals, or are we going to have the rookie come out of nowhere and absolutely shut everyone down and make his very first appearance in the finals here at Flat Rock Speedway? Who is going to go to the finals and face off against Jersey Outlaw?
Let's see here. We have Cryo and Gunslinger. It looks like they're having a good launch there. And then we have the young McClung and Master Disasters falling behind. Gunslinger with a clear lead here. It's very easy pants. And Master of Disasters having a terrible time. And that's what happens when you put a greenhorn in a truck.
You know, it's funny to see that both Minnesota trucks that are teammate trucks were the only two trucks that were able to come out and absolutely wad themselves up. But Chris, looking at the bracket, Jersey Outlaws back at it again. He wants blood. He wants number 2 on his mantle, but he's got to go through the Gunslinger. What do you think about this matchup, man? Having a back-to-back finalist.
Well, you know, it's extrats. It's extrats to lose, 100%. I want to give Gunslinger some hope as the underdog here, but truthfully, going in and winning the first 2 events out would be an amazing start for Jersey Outlaw and Extract. It'd be a very, very demanding lead, and even at this point, if he mid-packs in, I mean, that's got some pretty good ramifications for him. You know what I mean? I'm not sure, but what do you think, Spence? What do you got going?
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, Extra and Jersey Outlaws had that truck absolutely on kill all night long, even from the very first show that we've had. But Gunslinger has came out and just found another gear in that truck in some of these straightaways. So this might be a very close finish. I want to see a 2-time finalist here, but also I'd like to see an upset. So I'm kind of rooting a little bit for both, but part of me really wants to see Gunslinger take it from him. We're gonna find out here in a second. Both trucks hit the gas on the green, and they're pitching it both into that first turn. Gunslinger throwing it sideways, a little bit of a hop there. It is neck and neck, side by side.
This is close as can be. Oh my lord, ladies and gentlemen, grab a picture. Who won that race?
We're gonna have to go to the Beacon Fidelity instant replay in order to see who won that race. That is way too close to call from the naked eye. Chris, that was one of the best, if not the best race all season long. So we're going to go to the replay right now. And as you can see, both trucks fly over the air. And for a second, it looks like Jersey Outlaw barely had it. And he did, maybe by a cleat of a tire. For the second time in a row, Extra and Jersey Outlaw is your racing champion here tonight.
That is a crazy end to an amazing night. But you know what? This is not a loss for Gunslinger and Cryo. You know why? It may have been a cleat loss, but he put Jersey on notice.
Oh, I hope
that
so.
That is a race to say, hey, look, I'm on your heels, buddy. Next week, we got you.
Absolutely. You know? And we're going to let Extract come out here in the Jersey Outlaw and do a mini freestyle to celebrate. I mean, when you come out here and you line up against some of the best virtual monster truck racers, and we know that this is old school leaf spring trucks, the least we could do is let you go out there and have a little bit of a celebration. Even cross-running over the trucks a little bit. Never seen that back in the day.
Well, you know, they got to have a little bit of fun somewhere. And he deserves it. You know, winning by a cleat, we'll give it to him this week. But, man, this has been a great show. I've had a great time. Spence, final thoughts?
Final thoughts is we've got 5 more events to go here with the Summer Showdown Series. And of the 2 that we have had, Extra has put everybody on notice that I am out here to be the absolute best, and you're going to have to go through me. Gunslinger nipping at his heels. We've got a couple racers that know how to throw down. We've got a couple trucks that are bad fast.
This has been a lot of fun. As always, my name is Chris Gossler with BeamMotorsports.com. Like, comment, subscribe, enjoy the Discord if you would like to be part of future events. Spence, say your goodbyes.
All right. Well, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Like Chris said, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog. We don't care. Beam-Motorsports.com is where you can find all these amazing mods and all these tracks. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
I think me and you got a flow down here. I think we can make this work. You know, you were. I'm fresh out the shower. You're starting to take one right now with the heat in the attic. So I think we're ready to go.
You just noticed I started recording. You just had to throw that in there, didn't you?
I didn't know that was in there, but hey, here we go, man. BeamNG.drive. You know, we talk about showers.
Welcome to the Summer Showdown series, brought to you by Swamp Ass.